know it's No Ideas Original.
Welcome to the No Ideas Original podcast featuring Shannon, Mr. Rob, and Ken. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's going on, champ?
Good, man. Good.
Yo, you know who I've been having conversations with? Zane.
Oh yeah.
What's up with the brother, yo?
Yeah, Zane is he good. He was gonna try to come on, but he said he had to work. Well, he's sound like Zane want to make a return.
Listen, we welcome Zane. Zane is the pioneer of finding people for us, bro. and getting us all wrapped up with all sorts of we had some wild guests from Zane. Shout out to Zane.
Yeah. So it's a possibility Zane will be joining us. Again, if y'all don't know who Zane is, go back and look at like some of our earlier episodes when we first started. Zane was 100,
I think.
Yeah. Zane was instrumental, like Rob said. He was a big contributor. He helped us find a lot of guests. He helped us find a lot of guests that, truthfully, honestly, I wouldn't have even thought that they were good guests. That they turned out to be really good guests. I'm thinking about like the B Perk dude, Arash Malek. Remember him, the dude who was making the Tesla dude. Willie Esco, I think he helped with, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so Zane was he was instrumental in getting us
our first interview with Ron G, bro.
Yeah, no, he definitely helped broker that. What's up? What y'all been up to for this week?
Me, I've been studying my my koala sample, bro. I was just telling y'all in the back, learning my chops. It's getting there, bro. I'm getting the tempo and how to break it up. So now you can hear a sample, but now I can chop it up where you be like, hold on, let's change. He changed that? Did he change that? So I'm learning that. That made me feel good when I first got it.
You know what I keep telling? Did you work on recreating what the joint I said that you should recreate?
Yes.
Okay.
I dumped a lot of my old stuff because of the sound. Thanks to you caught that air sound. So now I'm able to pull it straight to my iPad, and the sound quality is dope.
Nice.
Okay. Y'all looking forward to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know what?
I don't care about another team.
I'm kind of interested to see it because I kind of want to see like what's out. I listen to Pat Mahomes. They like the sad thing about it is that anybody that wins, we eventually start hating them, so they become the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they was asking him how do you feel about being the villain. He was like, all right, I embrace that. I like being the villain. I'm good with that. As long as it's associated with winning. He was like, Tom Brady was the villain. At a point, people hated New England.
Yeah, I still hate New England. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah,
but they
hate me for winning. I heard another crazy scenario about that. When I hear a scenario that could actually take place in the next year or so.
What's up?
Bill Belichick wants to coach the Giants, and Rex Ryan might be coming back to the Jets.
Oh God!
Yeah, so you have Belichick and Ryan.
No, that's real nostalgic of Belichick, y'all. But I don't know, bro. I mean, I don't know, bro.
I don't know about that one because you see, Woody Johnson was like, "You need to win."
Right, and I know he got the pedigree, he got the years of experience. He can wear that good old, what they call play caller, red jacket, the red Giants jacket, play caller, or whatever, call player. I don't know, man. I don't think that's a good idea. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Bill Belichick either. Dude is not my cup of tea. It's a weirdo. He's definitely not as well. Who's your prediction?
The villain will be the villain. The Giants will be the villain with that mode.
No, I think I like to see Kansas City win. Just because I look at it, and don't get me wrong, I don't know about that whole game manager thing, but they putting a lot of credence. Like I looked and actually, Kansas City on some things was him. I don't know if it's changed. It was changed.
Underdog.
They the underdog. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, that's gonna give him that's more fuel for the fire.
Yeah, Kansas City's the underdog.
Yeah, underdog.
I think weren't they the underdog last year too?
I'm not sure. I'd be lying if I said that I was a believer in Brock Purdy. I think it'll be a closer game than what people think, but I feel like Kansas City probably will squeak it out just based on Pat Mahomes' experience.
Is it a dynasty though if he wins?
I think so. I think because they've been in the Super Bowl for the last 5 years. And to me, Pat Mahomes and Kansas City, that was the best example of I've ever seen of them in terms of drafting a quarterback developing a quarterback behind a decent quarterback, developing him behind Alex Smith, and allowing
Yeah.
him to come into his own. And I think that they find different ways to win. Like, this year it's more so about their defense than their
Yep.
offense. And Andy Reid is an amazing coach. So I wouldn't be surprised if they squeaked out a close one. But if San Francisco won, they won.
Yeah.
As long as New England ain't winning, I'm good.
But they ain't gonna be winning for a while.
As
So
long as New England, I'm good.
And we don't see enough for the young lady, so we don't want to see no more Miss Swift. Play football and buy $20 waters and all that stuff.
Man, let's talk about what everybody's been talking about to start off the show with Club Shay Shay, which is becoming sort of like Club. I don't know if it's Club Confession or Club Messy or whatever it is, but I mean, like, anybody seems like that go there, they go and sit on that couch and they just got heat for people, so if people haven't seen it yet, go look at the Club Shay Shay interview with the comedian Monique. I feel the same way like that Cat Williams. Like, to me, she didn't say anything else that I hadn't heard her say in the last 14 years. But it's something about that couch that sort of has magnetized viewers, because like the views is crazy. Like 9 million people tune in to hear people go on these people.
5 million views in 24 hours.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. Let me tell you, he's making a killing though. Club Shay Shay.
He ain't.
Well, all right. So here's the thing. I have a couple of questions and thoughts around this. So first thing I'm gonna go with is number one. As a result of this interview on Club Shay Shay, where does Monique go from here? Does this help to catapult her career?
Does it? No, I think it kind of I think it kind of just plateaus. I mean, she can make a rise on her own. Maybe she can do little spot specials like Cat Williams or get a little tour days going. I don't see it where it catapults her anywhere from where she is, honestly.
What do you think, Kenyatta?
I don't think so either. Like I would say this, like, even with Cat Williams thing, be honest, people liked Cat Williams before the
I see where you're going with this.
I can't really say, I was overwhelmed by anything that Monique did prior to this. So I don't know how this will make me want to hear her more.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see how this gonna help her at all.
I mean, her banter hasn't changed. She's been keeping it the same. It doesn't seem like she's making up stories about the stuff she's been through.
But she kind of took it backwards though, because she had that movie that everybody liked, like that movie. What was it? That like the horror thing where she did.
She did a horror movie that somebody.
Yeah, she was like like possessed or something. I don't know.
No, I never seen that. I'm not a fan of her work. Netflix?
Yeah, on Netflix.
Okay. Yeah,
BET or one of them.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
It was recent too. But I think that first too, she's really was crossing a lot of powerful people. Like, I mean, Tyler Perry got his niche sold up, so that's not gonna work for her. And Tyler Perry paid, like, I don't know how much money he pays people, but he gets reoccurring work, so it works out the same. Right. So I don't know how much that's gonna work for. And Oprah could drop a bad word and you could be going nowhere. It could be
that's what she's alleging, that because they're based on their word, that's what's preventing her career from excelling. So the two things that's most disturbing about this interview to me is that, one, the stuff with Kevin Hart I thought was foul, because if she's saying that Kevin Hart had this great conversation with her and then afterwards told her, I'm gonna help you out, I'm gonna executive produce whatever the project is, and then he didn't follow through, right? Like, that's crazy. Like, why would you even make that promise to Monique prior to Monique coming to sit down with Kevin Hart? Kevin Hart already knew what Monique's reputation was.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he got overzealous during the interview and felt compelled, like, all right, I have to do something because, listening to her story, I need to act on it, and then reached out to these different people to try to make something happen, and found out that these people, that bridge has been burned and that they don't want to be involved with her in that capacity. That was one. And I think the stuff with Oprah Winfrey was really foul. Like Oprah Winfrey interviewing her family or interviewing her brother that sexually abused her or whatever. Like, I don't see any justification that Oprah Winfrey could make for something like that. Like, that to me is very low.
Yeah,
and horrible. Like, I can't co-sign any of that.
That was a chess move to further sink Mo into her hole, so people can have a perception about it, what she's been through. And like she's like Tiffany Haddish now. Now she's struggling to get a spot and people to pay attention to her. Man, when in this business or in any business, you really can't go off anybody's word. I mean, whatever Kevin Hart said he would do, you should know in this business that is just poppycock, or however they say that.
Tell pens hit papers and lawyers and everybody else is involved. Until it's I will say this it's kind of like what Dave Chappelle said about the only thing that gets me is that other races don't do this to each other.
Like put the word up. So here's my thing though. Okay, I look at it like this. Regardless what industry you're in, whoever you are as a person, you know, there are narratives that are created by people. Like, we create our own narrative, and then there are other people that create narratives about us. Right. What it comes down to is when people actually interact with us, do we do something that dispels the narrative that other people have created of us, or do we do something to develop whatever narrative or perception, however we want to be received? And from my perspective, having listened to Monique for all these years, you know, I think that all of the gripes and issues and concerns and stuff that she said, I believe it's true. I believe it's true. I just don't think that she's done anything to dispel the narrative around the stuff that people is saying, you know, like, this is kind of like apples to oranges to compare it, but I think about a dude like 50 Cent. Like 50 Cent, you know, if we want to talk about blackball, 50 Cent was blackballed in the music industry for an extended period of time, you know, where people weren't taking meetings with him or anything, but he kind of, you know, got low, put great product together, made great music, and then it became undeniable. And then based on that, like, all of those people that Murder Inc. may have had the opportunity to prevent 50 from working with, 50 Cent became so hot.
It never worked. It didn't work.
Undeniable. Yeah, it was undeniable. It was like, yo, this is the narrative Murder Inc. has created as it relates to him. But if you look at the narrative that he's actually portrayed, like, this is a talented artist with amazing work ethic. He's he's this, he's that, or whatever. And he, as a result of it, he developed these great business relationships with people that at once upon a time may have listened to the stuff that Murder Inc. said about him. So now I step back and I look at Monique and I'm like, all right, what has Monique done to dispel that narrative? Because we're 14 years in past Precious, and I really think that there's a part of it based on the stuff that Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey may have said about her that hindered her career. But there's another part of it that she may have missed opportunities because she won an Academy Award, for Precious. And coming off an Academy Award, you spent more time arguing about Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey than actually advancing your career, you know. And as a result of that, it's kind of played into the narrative of what they created about you. It's like, yeah, she's difficult. And what is your approach to people now when you interact with people? You know, they've already put lens on in people's eyes, and they see you as being difficult. What do? You get out there and you do stuff that sort of reinforces the narrative that they created.
You got to be careful, man. Once you reach a certain plateau, you can't allow that to be your benchmark, because it may be times you need to ride the bus again. You know what I mean? She may need to build a better product. What has she done in 14 years that can say someone, I'll take a shot with Mo? There's nothing out there. Maybe that's the reason why Kevin Hart reneged. He's like, what has she done? All she done is complain.
I mean, I think if she gets out there and like hits the club circuit and stuff, like you said, puts out good material, puts together some good stuff, she has to rebuild her brand and rebuild her reputation.
So Mike Epps did that. He's been doing that for a minute. He'll get little spot dates here and there, couple of places. You build up your name, and all of a sudden, Mike Epps is back on the circuit. Now he's all over the place.
Well, her position is that Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry killed those opportunities for her. That's what she basically said.
Every last
I can understand this. They just say that they killed it on, like, let's say on
film?
TV shows or movies. but they can't stop her from going on comedy tours. I mean, they don't control that. I mean, Cat Williams is playing in Atlantic City this weekend. I don't think they could tell Monique to call up Atlantic City and say not have Monique. She
Right.
just does. She doesn't have the body of work or the material.
Right.
Well,
And she might.
here's the other thing though. So there was the third thing that I'm like, you know, I could see her point on also, like, for her to say that that Tyler Perry had agreed to meet with her, but he said that her husband couldn't be present. That's crazy to me. Like, you can't tell somebody their significant other, their spouse, can't be present. Like, I'm not in agreement with that. I think that she has the right to have her spouse in the room.
I don't think you know what?
Manager.
Well, yeah,
Oh, okay, that's a manager. I was going to say under what context or something.
Yeah. Well, even though, so here's the thing though, whether he was a manager or not, if it's her spouse, you know, why can't her spouse be in the room?
Maybe they had a previous interaction and he makes the interactions contentious.
That's what I think the issue is. So what you're saying, like, they must have had some sort of interactions, and as a result of those interactions, these people don't want to deal with her. So then my next question to you all is that there's a part of her that I really appreciate in terms of the loyalty, right? Where she's loyal to her husband. And then there's another part of her that I look at and I say, well, not her, I look at her husband and say to, you know, I would say as a husband, am I hurting your brand?
Yeah.
If people are reluctant to work with you because of me, and this is your dream, how does that work? Like, you know, because as his wife, I'm sure she wants to be supportive, and you know, the way they seem to operate hand in hand, she doesn't want to say, well, I allowed Hollywood or Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, studio executives or whatever to make the decision that my husband can't be my manager. But I'm just wondering, like, how do you handle that? Like, if that's your woman, would you be compelled to be like, nah, I'm gonna stay the manager, Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey and Hollywood got to figure it out? Or would you be like, nah, yo, I'm gonna step back and let you do your thing?
That's a gut check for him, man.
Yeah, I mean, they benefit together. So he's got to understand that. We're saying when she benefits, he benefits. I mean, unless he's trying to springboard himself as a manager throughout the industry, I mean, a lot of times that happens with
him as a manager.
Exactly. That happens with a lot of people. People start off with original managers, and then they realize that at some point that person can only get them to a certain point, and then that becomes that person moves on, or they move on from that person. I think, well, for her with him, she's not moving on a relationship, but he's got to understand when she doesn't benefit, he doesn't benefit either. I don't know if he has something else going on outside of this managerial gig, but the way they fund themselves and take care of themselves primarily comes through her.
Right.
So he's got to understand, or take a step back and put your ego aside.
Well, you look at like other people, you know, look at Joe Jackson. At some point, the Jackson 5 had to fire Joe Jackson, right?
Yeah.
Even if you look at what's her name, Wendy Williams, when her husband was her manager. You know, after a while, the talent
close to home,
win out.
Yeah.
No, talent has to win out at some point, and it just becomes a time where I think as the supportive spouse, you got to kind of be like, you know, what's more lucrative, my managerial career or your career as the talent? And here's the other thing about it too. Let's be for real. If you really look at, you know, like, I guess like her body of work or whatever it is, like it's almost like her window is sort of closing.
Yeah.
No, the window is closing. Like, how much longer is she going to be if all her relevance now is related to doing stuff like this or having these discussions? Then her whole legacy changed from you were once known as a queen of comedy. I've never been a fan that thought that she was funny, but you were once known as a queen of comedy. Now your legacy is what? Yo, you the woman who keep beefing with Tyler Perry and Oprah.
Mo is talented. She's very witty, and that's what keeps her going. Even from the what was the show she had on WB?
You're talking about
Moesha? Nah, it was the spinoff.
Not Moesha. Oh, on the Parkers.
Parkers. I mean, that had a nice little ride to it. This is the thing. When you start to meet adversaries or adverse situations, that's the time to check yourself. That's when you start checking your. Let me get back to my craft. Let me focus on what I gotta do, and not so much the bureaucratic hoopla bullshit. Because she's missing out of that. I think, and from what I understand, she's looking to go on tour with Cat, and that might propel her so she can get back on stage. But you shouldn't have to wait for someone to come along and do that. You should,
I
you
gotta
being
ask
a professional, like Shay said, Academy Award winner, you have credentials. You have credentials, but it's how you shop yourself that makes the difference.
So now I got a crazy question for you.
So hold on a second. Somebody said that the Cat Williams and Monique tour should be called the trauma bonding tour.
Hey, now think of it this way too. Cat Williams has his own separate gripes with people. Does he really want to link up Monique and add that to the list? Because he's talking about Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer and DL Hughley. Now, does he want to add Oprah, Tyler Perry, and everything to the list?
I mean,
to join up with Monique, is her ability worth it?
At this point, Cat can give a fine fuck. Cat is now. Cat has rolled on his own. He doesn't worry about the bureaucratic crap. That's the reason why he's in the position he's in now. You don't see him along lines or alongside any of the other people that we talk and seen throughout the years. Maybe Ice Cube or some rappers or something like that. Cat rolls alone, bro.
That's all good until the bills start coming in.
How long has he been doing it?
Yeah, that's where it gets worse. There's a difference between getting money and having money. Cat Williams has money. When you're not getting it, it changes. You can't buy stuff. They still want housing taxes. They want all of that stuff, whether you're getting it or not. So
you got to pay for it.
You got to pay for it. And I mean, is Monique's talent worth adding it to a tour?
Gonna take a shot on. We gonna see.
That movie was called The Reading. You got
The Reading. Yeah, I never heard of it. Yeah, I never heard of it. And I just feel like I would like for her to for her legacy to be something different. That's what I would like. Like I think she's a phenomenal actress. Like her role in Precious, to me, like I look at this and I'm like, yo, it's almost like that she went into this role as Precious and she still hasn't left out the role. Precious moms or whatever. Like, yeah, it's like, yo, she's still in character. I don't know. And then the stuff between her and DL Hughley, I'm just like, oh man, like, yo,
she got issues with everybody. The issues with Al Sharpton. He was supposed to help her out, and he sounds like. I think sometimes even a person like you, even Al Sharpton, sit back and look like, wait a minute, she got problems with everybody. Is the problem her or the problem them?
After a while, you start to think that, like, why are you looking at yourself? You're the Academy Award winner. You're the queen of comedy. You got all these accolades that you go under. You shouldn't be worrying about what Tyler Perry and Oprah. All right, are they gatekeepers? Yes, but they're not gatekeeping everything, bro. They might be gatekeeping maybe some of the real spots that you think you deserve because you're an Academy Award winner. I get it, and you want your just due. But like you said, you still gotta put food on your table. You still gotta pay for your necessities. And I wouldn't think, and I don't know, that she's so off that she gotta put up a tour to get money. I would think she has.
No, I don't think that.
You know what I'm
saying? All right. So last question on this particular topic. So she said, I think she said something like that. She was making roughly $2 to $3 million when that happened, right? A year, and it's been 14 years. So what's that? About 28? Let's say 2 million. That means seeking $28 million in punitive damages. Is she going to get $14 million from Tyler Perry and $14 million from Oprah Winfrey in addition to the apology she's requesting? Do you think so, Rob?
No. And plus, too, if you work for Tyler Perry to get $14 million, how many shows you got to be in? How long you got to be on that?
You be on Meet the Browns. You be on. She be doing spot cameos on all his shows, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so one other question, because I don't think that should get it. If you were her, no, let's not say if you were her. If you were Tyler Perry, would you hire her?
You know what?
I would have a conversation.
Yeah, I will have a conversation to see what it's about. And that's the thing, she's got to take a different approach or something. Like, if the reason that those rumors didn't stem from rumors, those things actually happen, whether you like it or not, or you like how they reacted to it.
Right.
Like the whole thing about wanting to get more money to go on to promote the movie. Y'all heard about that one, right?
Right.
That just doesn't happen. People don't do that. you negotiate a fee. You know that part of the movie's a promotion. If you didn't like the amount of money you got, you shouldn't have took it.
You shouldn't agree to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when you start doing stuff like that, it's hard to to get people back on your side.
Yeah. I think I feel like that it was her right to say no because it's a business decision, but I think that you got to then deal with whatever the consequences are.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you saying no? Like I don't see an issue with her saying like, nah, I'm not, I'm not interested in doing it or whatever. Like to me, there's no issue with that. But then whatever the fallout comes from making that decision, that's just
You gotta own it.
You have to live with that. So I'm interested in seeing where this goes for Monique. Hopefully, I don't see them offering an apology or any type of financial compensation, but I hope that she has the opportunity to get some kind of peace or closure. Like I don't want to see in another 10 years she's sitting on somebody else's couch telling the same story about about Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry, probably telling stories that truthfully that people who have previously worked with them already know and realize. Like, it's not like these are industry secrets. Like we know that there are certain people in every industry that could push the button and ice somebody out,
Now, should be talking about Cat Williams.
Yeah. Have you guys so switching gears, have you guys seen or heard about this whole price increase thing going on around just the fast food industry in general? And we're talking about McDonald's because McDonald's in Darien, Connecticut reportedly recently sold a Big Mac meal for $18.
$18, yeah.
Connecticut
$18.
Yeah, Connecticut, $18 Big Mac meal. Yeah.
$18 Big Mac meal. There's a lot that goes into this to get a Big Mac meal to $18, but I'm just wondering, like, what are you guys' thoughts on that? What do you think about that?
Well, I eat from home, so I don't get
He's like,
my whole life trajectory is totally away from fast food. But $18, bro, man, $18 for a Big Mac meal. But didn't McDonald's start making dollar menus so people could afford it? So
I don't think anything's $1 anymore.
No,
all right, so they went back to when I guess they thought they were official back then when they were the burger to have. $18 is a lot, but people pay for it, man. They'll pay for it, and it's funny that McDonald's had this I guess idea that they would make affordable food. That's the reason why they had a dollar menu. Saying that the cheap food is now expensive. You get what I mean? Like, it's supposed to be cheap because it's cheap food. So I don't know, man. $18 is a lot for a burger, processed food too. And I'm just I wouldn't do it. I'm not.
Well, you know what the irony of this is, though, Rob. That remember, once upon a time, people said that they ate unhealthy because it was cheaper to eat unhealthy, right? It was like, yo, I could get something off the dollar menu or whatever it is, but for $18, you could make a meal.
Yeah, $18.
You could get a whole chicken.
You get some ground turkey and some spaghetti and sauce.
Right, a whole meal that lasts 3 days instead of some shit you're going to run right through your body.
So,
but you. Go ahead, Kenyatta.
I think with McDonald's, where they're losing at, and I think the guy was trying to point out, which is crazy, and it goes back to what you said about lower costs and stuff. They're saying that they lost most of the customers that make $45,000 or less.
Yeah,
that's what they lost.
Can't afford to eat there. You probably could go to like a chain restaurant, like an Applebee's or something like that, and get something for less than $18. But you know what I think it is?
2 for $22.
It's the fast food industry is really being squeezed now by a lot of different things. Like, like minimum wage is increasing. The cost of equipment is increasing. You start looking at like what the actual supply chain fees are and things like that. So it's squeezing into people's profit margin. And as a result of people now wanting to reduce so much of their profit margin, they're trying to pass the cost off to the consumer. It's hard for us to fathom that McDonald's would need to do that because I can't speak for y'all, but in my mind, I just think that every McDonald's is operating successfully and not in a deficit. I think McDonald's is like a short shot business, and that's probably why I don't know how much it costs to own a McDonald's franchise, but I'd imagine it's probably quite costly to own a McDonald's franchise. But then when you start factoring in, like, what do you think if they say in Darien, Connecticut, a Big Mac is $18, I think California is about to raise minimum wage to $20 an hour. What do you think a Big Mac is going to cost in California? A minimum wage is $20.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like going Roof Chris for a burger, nigga.
now think about it. You would say for you to eat at McDonald's, it's gonna be an hour worth of salary to eat at McDonald's.
This is the thing, and another reason why people are straying away from it a little bit is processed food, bro. A lot of people have really turned around from eating outside food. McDonald's being one of them, one of the longest lasting franchises. As long as all of us have been living, they've been in business. But there was one time where they actually promoted beef hamburgers. They didn't do any of that. The milkshakes was all fresh. Everything was original. Even the potatoes from Idaho. They don't do it anymore. They don't do that anymore. And now with video and cameras, they show you how they process that food. That food is not healthy for you. They need to be paying $18 for it, champ.
So what do you? Well, here's what I would counter argue McDonald's with. If we saying that the wages are increasing and that's the reason why that you need to raise the prices. Well, if you look at the workforce is being reduced as a result of automation.
Yeah.
Right. So there's less cashiers. I've seen like videos where they got the machines that flip the burgers, stuff like that. Like all of this stuff is being automated. So I'm guessing they could probably cut costs around that. But to me, it's just not. I would have never in my mind wrapped my head around somebody making under $45,000 a year saying that they can't afford to eat at McDonald's. I just because I always assume that, you know, like
it's a mental thing, Sean, because in your mind you're saying McDonald's, and I'm speaking broadly. You're going to McDonald's, you're going to eat cheap.
That's where,
that's the thought process, yeah.
So why is it $18? This is McDonald's. It shouldn't be $18 for a burger, fries, and a regular soft drink. I gotta pull out $20 and I get $2 back, maybe $1.57. I could then that person making only 44,000 or 45,000 saying, "Damn, $20, I can go get some turkey meat, bread." You start quantifying like what's more important, because I'm a burger. I'm gonna be done with that and probably be hungry after that.
Yeah. Well, what they still have going for them,
bro.
What they still probably have going for them though is that, you know, if people work, you know, if you're a 2-parent household and both parties work, or if people don't have time to cook every day, that they still go probably get people to pop in and purchase something and have it as a meal. I do agree though. I think that there is much more education around eating healthy, and that there are people making a conscious effort to eat a little bit better. That coupled with the cost is probably driving people away. But I also, I just, it's just really hard for me to fathom buying a meal from McDonald's for $18. I mean, at this point, I don't eat McDonald's. And honestly, I've never had a Big Mac in my life. So I couldn't tell you what a Big Mac is.
Now, here's the interesting thing. I don't know if you guys are aware.
Yeah, Rob, they good?
What, a Big Mac is not bad.
It was smashing. When I ate it was smashing.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this, that McDonald's is actually opening a new restaurant too, called Cosm C's, that is going to focus on alternative foods, not nothing particularly healthy, but it's going to be drinks like coffees, teas, lattes, shakes, and stuff like that.
They must be trying to get into the Starbucks business.
So it's like, for some place that's losing money, they launching a whole new business model, business line. I think what it is that eventually, I did see something where they are. Remember you talked about the dollar menu, where they're talking about coming up with $1, $2, and $3 menu of items. They're talking about bringing something like that back.
Like, didn't they used to have like a snack wrap or something like that, and like those kind of things? Yo, the thing about it is, I once saw like a documentary or something where they was talking about, you know, McDonald's has a head chef, and that for things to get on the McDonald's menu, I think they said it takes like a 2-year or 3-year process. But when you go abroad, you go to other countries, some of the things that's on the menu is not even, they haven't even gotten over here yet. Like you see McDonald's chicken wings, mixed sushi, and all these different things that you're like, yo, McDonald's selling stuff.
Demographic, bro. They get things on there, the mixed shrimp.
I got something interesting for you guys about that, and it speaks to what you were saying. in London, they don't allow all these different things with foods. So the first thing, the sizes, a large
Oh, that's
in
only in
London,
the United States
the
that
medium,
they
yeah.
allow, how you call
Their
it,
stuff is no
supersized.
trans fat. They don't
Mhm.
really serve salt. They don't do any high fructose syrup. That is beef. And while as a matter, the price is still not as high as $18.
No,
So
no.
what does that say? It's just American lifestyle. If you have to, maybe it's tied to the conscious living that if you spend more money for food, you're eating better. But the product is still the same. You still have this. It's still the same product. It's still processed meat. It's still chopped up. It's not what it used to be. Yo, you gotta remember, McDonald's bragged about selling 50 billion hamburgers worldwide. And if you know your subconsciously, just mathematically, it ain't that many cows on the planet.
That's a whole lot of heart disease.
Because McDonald's isn't the only industry or conglomerate selling burgers. And you boasting that you're selling 50 billion a year or whatever. And that you got to change the product. You want to spend you want to charge people $18, give people a real hamburger.
Well, you know what what you're saying, I just thought about it. So maybe the other reason why the prices are going up is because, like to go to the store. I don't know if you guys have noticed lately, but if you go to the store and buy a pack of ground beef, the cost around that is up as well.
Yeah.
So
everything
matters if a person has enough common sense to be like, well, if I get a pack of ground beef, I can make burgers for everybody in the family versus spending $18 to get a Big Mac, some fries, and maybe a soda. I always be bugging out when I see people get like them crazy big meals and get a Diet Coke. Yo, that joint be having me going. I'm like, yo, give me a big. But McDonald's don't do supersize no more, right? Didn't they get backlash behind that after the
niggas had diabetes, bro?
But you know what's interesting? I think some of the fast food thing is that with the emergence of the need of constantly having two family working homes, the amount of time if you have small kids come home, prepare food, stuff, everything else. But I'm sure more people are basically what we see, more people are opting at home to try it than they used to be.
Yeah. I don't know.
With inflation up, man, the way inflation is, we talked about it last time. People can't even put $1,000 aside. Imagine having to eat $20 Happy Meals.
Yeah, that's for one person. So if you got a family,
right? How you gonna feed 3 kids and they all want Big Macs?
Yeah, damn,
it's not gonna happen, bro. Yeah, you gonna make mama burger. You are gonna be pattying them up, that ground beef, the Wonder Bread with peppers hanging out of it.
Yo, he said the Wonder Bread. Yeah, I don't know if people still eat burgers and glizzies on regular bread.
You'd be surprised, bro. Be surprised you're still out there with a pack of Franks boiling on
the regular bread. Some Wonder Bread.
People still boil glizzies?
Son, listen.
That's like eating a cheese Frank.
Oh man.
I think my blood pressure go right through the roof.
Oscar Mayer.
Yo, speaking of Frankfurters, yo, I don't know if you guys have been following along with like the stuff that's going on with Donald Trump and his recent court case, but it's right now it's obvious that Donald Trump is the front runner to be the Republican nominee for president, and the polls indicate that if the election was today, that he'd smear Joe Biden's ass, yo, in almost every state. What are your thoughts?
Two of his buddies. I mean to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
2 of his buddies already dropped. That were going against him dropped out. What's Florida dude?
DeSantis.
Yeah, he's like I can't.
Christie and DeSantis been out.
But I watched the interview with Christie this week though. It's interesting. He said that he won't vote for Trump and he can't support him. And he said he can't support Nikki Haley because when she eventually drops out, she's going to support Trump. He said the only thing stopping the Democrats from winning is Joe Biden. He said they could put anybody else up and they will win, but Joe Biden. And you see yesterday, I don't know who it was. It might have been the Attorney General did some crazy thing where he discredited Biden, talking about he couldn't remember.
Yeah, mentally, his mental fortitude to be president. But if Trump is convicted, what does that mean for Republicans? Who else? Nikki Haley? Maybe
I think they would try to circumvent it. I don't think they would agree with me as a felon. You're not supposed to be able to run, but I
At
think they
all.
would find a way to circumvent it.
At all. You can't run for no public office once you're a
Yeah,
felon.
I think they will find a way to circumvent it.
so.
He,
So
he gets convicted. It's a wrap.
well, so this is what I was going to say. Like, if he gets convicted, does that lead to the next insurrection? Like, are people going to go off?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I can see that happening. That I can see happening.
I can see that. I can see that happening. Absolutely.
Now, here's the other thing. Here, another part of this. So,
and it might already be happening at the Texas border.
So here's another part of it. So, if Trump is convicted, what does that mean for democracy, though? Because, truthfully, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do know part of all these legal things that he has going on, and is politically motivated also, because people are like, yo, they want him out of there. I personally don't believe that that's a good strategy for Democrats to solely bank on getting him convicted so he doesn't get elected, rather than having a formidable opponent. But that seems to be like their game plan. Like, yo, we don't need to worry about it. He's going to be convicted, so he ain't going to be able to run. What does that say to democracy, though, if we saying that we're for open and free elections?
I mean, I think what the worst part about it is that a lot of stuff we base democracy on is tradition and not necessarily logic. Mm-hmm. So think of it this way: the only reason that Joe Biden is even getting the run is because that's what we dictate usually happens. So when have you seen a sitting president go for a second term, get removed and replaced?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only reason. I don't even think the Democrats would necessarily, if they could switch candidates, they would, but that would just send things probably into more turmoil than leaving him there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more so the logic piece is lost. Like, realistically, even with Joe Biden, could Kamala Harris win an election? I mean, I personally don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think that she has enough visibility over these last few years. Here's the other thing, though, that to me I see a lot of. Like, I feel like that there is, in particular, there's this, to me, I see like a lot of selective patriotism. And when I say selective patriotism, I mean, I feel like that there are people that they specifically determine, like, these are things that I want to be patriotic about. So when we start talking about free elections and democracy and stuff like that, and the possibility of Trump being taken off the ballot because he's a convicted felon, people lose their mind and go crazy over it and say, like, nah, that's not democracy. But in the same vein, those same people will be in support or understanding of an insurrection when an election, was lost, and say like, nah, he didn't do anything wrong or whatever. Like, one of the things that I feel like that this country has been built on, to what you were saying, Kenyatta, a lot of it is just sort of like tradition. Like, so there's a tradition about a peaceful transfer of power. If you lose the election, or if you lose the election, you want to protest. There's a process by which you protest. You protest the election. This is not, I'm rounding up my dudes, we storming the Capitol, and or tell the vice president, whoever it is, don't ratify the votes, don't do, like, all of those things to me don't really fit the mold of patriotism. And when I see stuff like that, I'm like, how do we say that we're patriots or that we're patriotic, and we co-sign something where, like, we're supposed to be a democracy where a person loses a free and fair election and they refuse to leave, but then now we'll be an uproar if he's taken off the ballot and say, like, well, the election is rigged or whatever it is. I think it's selective outrage around which one we're going to be. If we're going to be patriots, then we need to be patriotic, and we need to uphold the Constitution and the traditions to a T.
We're not who we say we are. We're hypocrites. This country is a hypocrite. Just hypocrites, man. They say one thing and do another, and that's been the nature of this country since it's been in the country. And it's not gonna look good. He gets convicted, then we get Biden, who can't remember nothing. Now what? Wherever we go, we in a shithole of a spot. So you
I'm sorry. I was gonna say I'm not certain that we've seen the last of Ron DeSantis. Like, because I think that if Trump does get convicted and it's a situation where they can't figure out a way to get him back on the ballot, I feel like then a Trump disciple, like a Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis, will, like, people, his supporters will move behind him. And the other thing is, honestly, this is something different from this particular topic, but I feel like Trump's political ambitions is motivated by his own desire to stay out of prison. You know, like he knows that if he's a sitting president, that he can't be prosecuted or convicted of said crime.
His whole presidency is cyclic. Listen, I'll be the president to stay out of jail and stay out of jail while being the president. So that's his whole thing. And somewhere along the lines, he's going to try to figure out or create a loophole to pardon himself from everything before he
got the pull of the GOP. The GOP
so he'll basically walk away scot-free, and that's the plan. But you figure if they convict him and he doesn't become the president, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else, if Biden's not going to do it, but if Nikki Haley or one of them, they will pardon him anyway.
Yeah, I probably based on pressure, but he said a lot of horrible things about Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, you know, which really he didn't need because he was clobbering both of them in the polls. I guess just his ego wouldn't allow him not to bash them. But so
that goes to show you what type of people they are too, though. This man went out there and just assassinated you, said all types of crazy stuff or whatever, and you drop out and the first thing you say, I'm gonna support Trump.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's how you know it's a game, man.
Yeah,
that's party affiliation.
Yeah, and we voting based on party affiliation, not what's best for the people of the country and what's logical or makes sense. Like this guy's running on a platform where he wants to remove all types of recollection of slavery from books and all types of crazy stuff. Just for that foolishness alone, he shouldn't have been even allowed to. And the sad thing about it is there's actually a minority that probably would have voted for him too.
Of course. It's, you know what it kind of goes back to. You ever hear when people be like, well, you know, this person ain't racist, but the racists think he racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't racist, but the racists think you're racist. What does that mean?
You are racist, man.
Yeah. You got the dog whistle, man. Netflix acknowledged what all of us have known for years. Netflix acknowledges that piracy is hard to prevent and is growing. Do you guys think that there's anything that Netflix could possibly do to combat piracy? And if so, what is it?
I can tell you, I don't know if I know that they're trying to combat sharing logins. that I know they trying
to. If you log in from anywhere but your IP address, they definitely got a thing where send it to whoever the owner is. Like, yo, you trying to log in?
Yeah, they're trying to combat. So they're gonna get a few more dollars off of that. But piracy's been going on all the time. Remember back when things like Napster, people still on BitTorrent and all types of stuff like that. Yeah, so I don't know how you stop piracy. I think that I don't even, you know, it's funny. I think the corporations may want to stop piracy, but I don't think like as far as like the money that comes in from a lot of these different streams and stuff that happens, I don't think people even care. Like if they really wanted to go hard at these things, they could, but there's no real motivation. Yeah, no motivation to do it.
I think they'll hurt themselves trying and they'll lose money because there's over 100 million unsubscribed Netflix people that don't have subscriptions that are watching it. Over 100 million have access to Netflix that don't even have a subscription. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. 100 million.
100 million? Damn. So how many people are subscribed to
they got 1 million subscriptions and 100 million people.
It said the U.S. economy suffered $29 billion loss from online piracy last year. So everyone's robbing everybody. It's just like burnt CDs and tapes on the 25th. Yeah, they go flip the nigga tape box open.
Yo, you know the movie studios are feeling it too.
Hell yeah. Box office ain't getting nothing. They tell you, right, when the movie comes on, they tell you, yeah, in theaters. Where? What theater? I mean, some of them have this. Some people do go, but it's not. Yeah, then you got to pay $30 for that. So imagine that.
You know, well, that's why they try to change like the movie experience, though. Like you go to movies now, like you have dining theaters, the seats, the luxury seats, all kinds of
McDonald's in that bitch too now,
and all that. Which is that?
Sell McDonald's at the movie theater.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It'd be $25 for that Big Mac meal in the movie.
So here's the issue with I think like the stuff with piracy that's hurting Netflix, right? Netflix when Netflix first came out, you know, and just these movies, like in general, like piracy in general, before, in order to access these films and everything, you had to be much more computer savvy. You had to know how to navigate around the web to get to this stuff, and torrents and all these different things and how to download. But now they got sites where it's literally a click, like watch a free. I ain't gonna say it on here, but you click whatever, you can literally click a movie and watch a movie, you know, and literally watch a movie. So anybody basically with the internet, you probably could watch them on your phone if you wanted to. And I'm sure most of them are like, what's theater quality to be able to watch what's in the theater. So you competing with that makes it difficult. I think what Netflix has done to attempt to combat piracy is Netflix has started creating their own original content, which helps them to a degree. But another danger that I think that they have is that there are now all these different streaming services. So, you know, you figure when who was it? Was it Disney? Disney had like the Marvel stuff. So Disney was pulling all their stuff off of streaming platforms to build up their streaming platform. So all the content that you once had from all these other places, once they start pulling their content to build their streaming platform, Netflix did have to go to, like, we need to create original content and everything. And I've seen the evolution of Netflix from when Netflix was a couple of dollars a month, and you know, it was and it was like, yo, you could, what I really used to love about Netflix is if you wanted to watch something, you could watch it in its entirety. You know, the whole season, 15 episodes, you could binge watch. But now Netflix has gotten smart enough where they realize, you know what, if we do that, we may get a subscriber for less than a month or a month. You know, if we dole it out for a couple of weeks, we got at least keep somebody around for a couple of months because they want to see whatever it is, the series. So I think that's going to be an evolving business model that they're always going to have to constantly look at if they want to be successful.
Plus, with that rolling out all the things, that actually promotes again the piracy. So if you roll out the whole season, the people that's pirating, they get put the whole season out there. Whereas if you release slow flow it, you get less interest. Some people are getting smarter though. I don't know if you guys heard about the ESPN, TNT, Fox merger thing. So they're putting all their sports divisions together. So it's going to be one streaming platform for all sports. And you think about it, if they get it all together, it still can't stop the piracy, but at least cuts it down because now you got a single point controller.
Competing with, like people go.
Country was founded on piracy. Everybody's a pirate.
Well, I mean, you know, the other thing is, there was a time when I felt like better product, you know, also would have helped too. Like, all right, if you actually made a movie that was worth going to see in a theater, that may help. Because there was movies when we were growing up that people look forward to, like, yo, I got to go see that in the theater. I can't watch that on bootleg.
Why can't we get a better product? Monique, better product. Better product.
I will say this: I think Marvel movies still do fairly well in the movies. Like those Marvel movies.
It depends because their most recent ones I don't think performed as well as what they thought they would.
Yeah, like the Marvels and stuff. Yeah,
it didn't perform as well. But those are exorbitant budgets. You didn't put together $200-300 million budgets, and you thinking that you're going, you know. Well, I don't know what they did internationally, but domestically they weren't as big as what they thought they would do.
Look at Netflix complaining. They ain't complaining what they did to cable because cable's out the window because of Netflix.
That is true. Yeah.
Now Netflix complaining. Oh, them niggas. Yeah, but you done robbed cable, motherfucker.
I'm gonna tell you. You know what though? I'm gonna tell you how cable about to be out of here just in general. You see, every channel got an app now.
Yes, sir. Every channel got an app, so you can go watch.
Every channel got an app. So now it's gonna be like, yo, I'm just gonna buy the apps. But here's the thing about that: with every channel having an app, by the time you buy all the apps for the channels that you like, same price of cable or whatever, you know, you're like, damn, I'm back up to $400. I didn't got all these channels. No,
that cycle, bro.
Yo, cable got me in a chokehold though, because cable will have you purchasing, you know, channels that you don't want, and they lump it in with the good channels. Like, you know, I want to be able to watch Kanan, the Power, whatever it is on Stars, you know, so I got to purchase the National Geographic. I actually like National Geographic channel, but I got to purchase something else that I don't care nothing about. Showbox, you know, or Showtime, whatever. Do
you keep cable because of your internet?
Yeah, pretty much, because I don't use my home phone, and I ain't gonna say it on here. Maybe I watch movies another way and watch television shows another way. I have access to watch television shows another way.
Yeah, and navigate around.
Yeah, maybe I have an app or apps that I watch that don't require me actually having to have cable, you know. But yeah, so yeah, I guess Netflix, I don't know if they see it as so much of a threat, you know, as some of the other things. But here's something odd. Like, has anybody seen any Tubi piracy? Like any movies?
No,
that's the homeboy network right there, son.
Yeah, if you pirating a Tubi movie, like
you struggling, bro.
Yeah,
yo,
they only spent 5,000 on the whole production.
Yo, let's be some of them Tubi movies might be better than some of the recent Monique productions, though.
Well, that's where I didn't want to say it, but I think that's where she might end up.
Shy, you don't watch Tubi movies, though. You catch any of them Tubi movies?
Yeah, I caught a few. Some of them
are like bits and pieces. Some of them are just like like the quality of them. But you know, honestly, I told y'all before, like during the pandemic, I was watching them Amazon Prime movies or whatever.
Yeah,
the quality is not great, but some of them they have like compelling stories. A lot of stories are the same, but I appreciate somebody's dream was to make a film and they made a film.
Have you actually caught a Tubi movie?
Yeah, I've seen
I've seen a Tubi movie.
Do you think they're good?
I'll watch it.
You ever seen All Black? You ever seen All Black movie?
Nah, I never seen that.
Yeah, basically the same thing as Tubi.
Listen, there's a lane for everybody, man. So if you don't want to get pirated, make up your own network. Become Dame Dash and make up your own shit. Fuck it.
Yeah, I've never watched anything on his network either. Have you?
Nah,
I don't even know what it is. Why?
Find it
or something or whatever. It's an app. He has an app. He has an app. Congratulations to Killer Mike winning a Grammy at what? What is he? 48?
Yeah.
Won 3 Grammys at the age
of 48. Congratulations and not congratulations.
Congratulations. I didn't listen to Killer Mike's album yet. Did any of y'all hear it?
You know what? I
heard a couple of songs.
Yeah, I didn't give it the just due. I did hear the Andre 3000 joint. I think I heard CeeLo, the joint he did with CeeLo, but I haven't given it my ear. I don't know. I think it just kind of faded. I was listening to some other stuff and I just need to double back on it. But I hear it's a dope joint.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. I'm definitely gonna check it out. What do you guys think about his arrest at the Grammys?
I think that was all set up.
Yeah, I mean,
my opinion.
Set up how? Like set up for a promotion for him, or set up like they set him up
to kind of stain his night.
Oh,
for a misdemeanor, something small. I mean, it happened. Whatever it happened, a scuffle with security about seating or whatever. So what? But to make a spectacle of it on a night like that, I don't think that was happenstance. I don't think that was coincidence at all. That's just my opinion.
I mean, it just seemed like it was completely unnecessary. I mean, the sad part about it could it have been precipitated from the Will Smith stuff or something, where the last time some incident happened, they didn't arrest somebody or didn't do it.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure that might have been considered, but in this particular, they could have, if the people involved, it wasn't Killer Mike, it's more so a security. They could have arrested those guys. So bringing him in or something is just like a level of embarrassment or something.
Dude, it was too much. Like, come on a night like that, it just made me feel like this is the shit black men got to go through. The moment you get someone up there, you got to cut them off at the ankles on a historic night on top of it. You know what I mean? Because that whole night was ran by women, the sisters. I was like, any brothers collecting any damn thing up here? Like anybody?
Yeah, I haven't watched an award show and I have no idea.
Yeah,
women they cleaned up that night. It was a total show for them, and for that to be a storyline that here this man he sweeps album of the year, song of the year, performance of the year, all of that, and then the camera's just pan this way.
Him getting escorted out. What did you think about Jay-Z's speech?
Oh, some people shouldn't even be on the list.
Yeah, he was definitely telling the truth.
I tell the truth when I get nervous too.
Yeah. he was definitely telling. Only thing he wasn't telling the truth about was I definitely didn't think. I don't know who won album of the year, but I definitely didn't think Beyonce's last album was album of the year worthy.
The album Lemonade should have gotten it.
Yeah,
somebody else said that recently too. That they thought that the Lemonade. I don't. Tell me 4 songs off the Lemonade album.
I don't know, but I know that the album because pardon me. Because the ladies here they've played it. When it came out,
Lemonade.
Yeah, you couldn't get enough of that album. It was being played.
I don't remember the records. I don't remember the records. I think it was. I know this last album didn't really have much replay value to me, but for some reason, a lot of Beyonce albums don't have a lot of replay value to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and this last album, she had a couple of songs on it that I was like, oh, these are good songs, but I just don't. I don't know. Like I wasn't album of the year material for me. It didn't stick with me to make me be like, oh yeah, this is, And the irony of it is, I feel like this last album, she really recreated a Solange album. Like really went the Solange vibe and got Raphael Sadiq and like other type of musicians and writers and stuff like that. Like she really went for that kind of sound.
I've
Jim, what up, bro? Peace, Jim.
I've heard it several times. I think it's pretty good. Like I don't know about album of the year worthy, but I think in Jay-Z's position for him to say he's kind of in a safe position. What I mean by that is he's completely out of the industry. So there's no penalization. Like say he was still making records and stuff. Well, Jay-Z had did that if he was still a person up for Grammys and stuff like that in the Kanye West situation. I don't know if he'd have been so forthcoming or been so talkative if he was still, massively involved in the music industry. I think it's easy to talk about something where you have no skin in the game.
You're out the way. Yeah.
He has there's no results or anything that can happen to him as a result of it.
Now watch Jay drop an album now.
They say I've heard something like that, but I don't even think he would. At this point, it would just probably be out of the love of him doing it. I don't think he cared about anything else.
Yeah, or I think Jay-Z has been like he's demonstrated that he knows how to package up a product. And like, I don't remember he put out the Magna Carta album, whatever, and it was like first people who buy the phone, you get the download with the phone.
Yeah, the Samsung. Yeah, I remember that whole deal.
Yeah, like he was getting. Man. I remember like the first iPod I got. I think it had a U2 song already downloaded on it. I'm like, I don't want this. But that's good business practice. That's good.
Oh yeah, he's a marketeer, bro. He knows what he's doing. That's back to the word product. You gotta.
I know where you're going with this, man.
Yo, you got to work on your product, man. And I'm learning that now with what I'm doing. Like, you got to work on it. Work on it, man. And once you present it, make it undeniable.
Well, remember, Rob, I was just telling you, initially, I didn't necessarily know about that 10,000 hours thing, but now I'm starting to believe in it more.
Yo, you got to have 10,000 hours of mastery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it in, and when you know what, put another 10,000 in, and put another 10,000 in. Get so ingrained in it that something that someone said, get so ingrained with doing something a certain way that you don't mess it up, or you don't want to mess it up. Something he said, but it was profound.
Becomes second nature.
Yeah, it becomes so ingrained that you're looking for the errors to make sure it sounds right and it's not messed up. Ask for putting them 10,000 hours in that time, bro.
Yeah.
Work on your product, man.
Yo, but I do think that also, like in the same regard, like what do they say? Like, what's the saying they got where they say something like perfection is the enemy of what is it?
Yeah, don't let perfection be the enemy of the good.
Yeah. It's like, like when you get so ingratiated with like, yo, all right, this got to be perfect, then you can't ever deliver on anything. Like, how long have we been waiting for Detox now?
Ain't no perfect.
That
album in the world, bro.
That album ain't never coming out, because of perfection. Yo, in the spirit of Netflix, and just everything that we talk about, Netflix with their rising costs, McDonald's, the $18 Big Mac meal. I'll give me 5 this week is the 5 most overpriced things that we purchase. 5. Yo, want me to give you? I'll give you my 5 first.
Okay.
Number 1, cable television.
I agree with that. 200.
Cable boy, they'll get you on, what is it, the triple play package or whatever, get you on that promotion. Once that promotion is over,
oh yeah.
Yo, and then the thing is, if you tell them, yo, take my phone off or whatever, they be like, all right, that reduce your bill by $7.
But now you don't got the package, so.
But the surcharge goes up when you take the phone off.
Yeah.
So that all right. The next thing I'm gonna say, cell phone bills. Cell phone. Have you ever looked at your cell phone bill like in detail, like all the other
charges and all that stuff,
charges and all that or whatever? You know, once upon a time, cell phone companies. This is what I mean about being innovative and ahead of the curve. Like cell phone companies realized the real money was monetizing the data. Remember before they used to charge you a certain amount of money to use your minutes, and then if you went over the minutes, and then it was like if you spoke after 7 o'clock, it was free.
Yeah.
Now you could probably get unlimited minutes, but like 200 megabytes of data or something like that.
Yeah,
because they realize like the actual for cheap, the actual sale and where they make money is the data.
The data.
So cell phone bills, but by the time you look at the cost of the data, and a damn phone is probably God only knows how much. So people finance phones and stuff like that. I got cell phone bills at number 2. Number 3, gym memberships. The reason why I say gym memberships is because a gym membership is like a Suge Knight death row contract. Yo, to get out of a gym membership contract, you could forget about it. Yo, they are not letting you out of them contracts. I'm gonna go with a gym membership. Fast food.
Yes.
Fast food also. Fast food went from, like we said earlier, went from you could get something off the dollar menu to now you go in and you know, they ring up whatever it is. You look and you be like, yo, wait a minute, how much is this? Definitely fast food. And then lastly, college. College. Like, yo, the cost of college is astronomical. College is so damn expensive that it's automatic, almost like failure to launch. Once you graduate, you can't even go right into your career and make decent enough money to live on your own. There are people that's doctors that start off as residents and don't make enough money because their student loans is astronomical. So I'm gonna go with college. And then my honorable mention is, remember the guy that ran on the platform in New York City? The rent is too damn high. Rent.
Rent in New York.
Rent. Like to live in New York. I don't know how people live in New York, but rent. Like there are people renting studios in New York for like $2,500.
Oh yeah, 400 square feet.
If that, bro.
That's my 5: cable TV, cell phone, gym membership, fast food, and college. Who want to go next?
All right, I'll go. I gotta definitely say the cell phones. Yeah, cell phone bill thing is crazy. Eating out in general is way overpriced. That in general.
Yeah, if you got a family,
yeah,
you know, like. I mean, if you go think about it, you go to grocery stores, you go to a grocery store before you bought $100 worth of groceries, you could fill up your fridge and your pantry. Easy. Now $100 might be a meal too.
Oh yeah. Rent, like you said, rent anywhere. Rent is just rent. Like somehow somebody decided that living in a crappy place for $3,000 is okay. And then people fighting over to get that crappy place for $3,000.
I think that's 4.
Let me see what else. You know, laugh. I'm gonna tell you another one that's funny, and so my wife will get kicked off for this. Coffee. People go into this damn Starbucks and all these different
designer coffee.
$5 and $6 for a cup of coffee.
Designer
that's
coffee.
Overpriced.
Yeah,
that's definitely overpriced.
Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks coffee. With all the junk in it, is like $6 for a cup or something.
Yeah, nah, Starbucks. Yo, I used them frappuccinos used to have me in a stranglehold. Yeah, the pressure. Yeah, I had like a serious sugar addiction to them joints. I had to take myself off them.
Wait, like $10?
Nah, if you get a grande, it's like $5 and change, $6 or something like that. Now I'm addicted to the mango refreshers.
See that? $6 for a mango refresher. Water, some mango
like
flavor.
$5. Yeah. All right, Rob, what you got? What's your 5?
I agree with you on cable. Cable is a fucking ripoff. That's $300-$400, and I'm like, all I got is the internet. Well, I don't even watch this shit.
Yo, I feel the same way. I'm like, yo, what the hell? I don't want some of the stuff that like the channels that I got on cable, they bundle the package that's crazy. So in order for you to get stars, you got to buy some nondescript channel that ain't got nothing to do with it.
Oh my god, man! I forced myself to watch HGTV. Well, I like HGTV.
Yeah. HGTV is actually a pretty good.
Yeah, channel. I like HGTV.
I forced myself to watch AMC and a bunch of little bull. I'm like, I might as well watch it. I'm paying for it. Let me see what it's worth, man.
They're smart too. They don't put all the channels you want in one package either.
Yeah, man, that's what I said.
Yeah,
500 channels for nothing. Eggs,
you said?
Eggs is too damn expensive. I like eggs.
Yeah, I don't eat eggs. How you call it? Like, I mean, I eat eggs if it's mixed in the ingredient or something, but I don't eat eggs. How much is the eggs for a dozen now?
Almost $7. It's like
$7.
Three and change. I don't know if that's because of where I live. Demographically, shit is expensive. Milk too.
Yeah, milk is expensive.
Oh, milk is expensive.
Milk. The fuck is going on with milk?
Milk,
is so damn
and meat costs more than a gallon of gas. A gallon of milk is more than a gallon.
Yep. Netflix is almost $30.
Netflix is $30.
It depends on how many people using your account.
How many people you got on it? Yo, did you hear also that Netflix was toying with the idea of bringing commercials, like to get advertising revenue?
Wow, you mean like Hulu?
Yeah.
Yeah, son. Netflix, I think is $24 now.
Yeah, I think it is.
I remember paying $7.99. Go figure. And the motherfucking toll to get into New York City.
Yeah,
George Washington Bridge.
No, son. When you pass 59th Street, you're gonna get hit with a toll. So if you're going to the Nick game, you want to go to Macy's, you want to go anywhere through past 59th Street, $23 if you're coming out of town. I think it's $7, $9 for people that live in the city. But you once you pass it once, you can pass it going back and forth. Make sure you got your easy pass.
Within the same day, so if you pay it one time, you might as well go down there and stay.
Yeah.
$23?
Yeah, I did the math. It cost me to go if I go to the city and go back, that without gas is $70.
What?
Under 20, yeah. With the tolls, with that $23 toll to go to Manhattan, the bridge, and the other toll, and going back, it'll be $70.
Yo, so what does that mean? Because there's a ripple effect. What does that mean for the parking garages down there?
Well, they're gonna lose money because a lot of people are gonna be trying to stop.
Driving.
If you get a parking lot, I'm telling you right now, you get a parking lot in like around the 60s, the 70s, you're gonna make a killing.
Yeah, because mad people will park up and drive, walk and jump on the train.
Yeah, or take an Uber in.
Well, damn, you said 20-something. I knew about it, but I didn't realize it was gonna be that high.
Yeah,
effect, bro. Once you go downtown, if you're going past 59th Street,
and when's that supposed to happen?
It's already happening.
Oh, I guess I can't go down to the city.
It's in effect, bro. I know. I think I got hit because I went down to the class and I had to go down to Houston Street. So,
that's the way downtown.
No, I know my easy pass got dinged.
Damn.
So that's the toll, son.
How much for parking down there? You parked in the garage?
No, son. I found a little hood spot. Parked in.
That's good. Yo, that's good that you found parking on the street.
I had to get down there about an hour early before the class started, so I drove around and I found a spot because I wasn't paying like $50, $60 to be in the one parking lot for an hour or two or whatever.
Yeah, $25 an hour.
Yeah, that parking is, especially if you got a bigger vehicle too. You can have a, whatever they deem to be. Oh, this is an SUV. This is $50 an hour.
Yeah, big space. We need two prices. Big space.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And everybody's a hustler in New York. Everyone wants to hustle. So,
damn. In closing, any closing words?
Closing words. What you got, Yada?
Oh, again, I looked at the NBA. You got some trades and different stuff. The Lakers didn't make any moves, so we should expect LeBron to be complaining for the next of the season. Next season, he'll be complaining forever. Whatever, they will not win a championship, and he will just be complaining. So expect the LeBron complain fest, and expect what's his name, the coach, to get fired. That's the
Darvin Ham.
Darvin Ham, yeah, he's basically cooked ham. That's it for him.
Baked ham. He's baked ham.
Darvin Ham. Rob, what about you?
Not much, man. Stay healthy. I'm still on the juicing. It's kind of part of our lifestyle now. So we eat our meals. I had a empanada taco just now, which is pretty good, but it's very light. It's not heavy. and I'm still juicing, man. And energy is still there. I feel great. Like I said, I do my little workouts. Work out in the morning. Try to work out at night, but in the morning is better. Staying healthy, man. Everybody stay healthy, man. These years coming up are gonna be tight. And if McDonald's is charging you 18, yeah, I'm telling you, you might go get a pack of ground beef. Go make your own burgers out this motherfucker. Stay wise out here. That's it. Stay wise.
Yeah, I ain't getting no $18 burger from McDonald's. Yo, I'm just going to end this saying this, just to go back to the stuff with Monique. Like again, like I get, and I appreciate her saying also that when people tell her like she need to move past it, it didn't happen to any of us, so it's easy to say, you need to move past it. I respect that, in that regard. Maybe she doesn't need to move past it, but I stand on what I said. Like I just don't want to see her legacy be defined as somebody who had all this great talent as an actress, spend the rest of her time seeking out apology and financial compensation from Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry, when those are two people that I think that they so far sitting up here that I don't think that they even going to reply to whatever it is she got going on. Like at the end of the day, Club Shay Shay could get 15 million views of the interview and all that. You look at the Cat Williams stuff. Cat Williams' viral moment has passed us, right? He had like a week run with a viral moment, and now it's her week. Next week we'll be talking about somebody else, and Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry will be back scot-free in the clear as a result of their transgressions also. I hope that Monique could heal from it, and that she could get like some other opportunities before it's too late to dispel the rumors that they spread about her, to demonstrate to people that she's not hard to work with, and that she is a talented actress, and that she is somebody who other people enjoy spending time around. If she could do that, I think she'd be perfectly fine.
I agree with that, man.
Yep.
Leave it alone. Leave all that shit alone. Focus on your craft. Focus on your product.
Sure. Catch everybody on the next one. Peace out, everybody. Salute. Thank you for tuning in.
Peace.